Hey guys, Josh here, CrossFit Agreement, talking Tuesday's workout. When we get to the workout, we're going to talk about push-ups, but before we do, we're going to talk about getting ready for Murph, and part of that, and usually the biggest part of that for most of us, or the biggest struggle point of that is push-ups. So are push-ups, question number one, are push-ups, maybe the only question, who knows, maybe there's more, but are push-ups something that we could do every day? As long as we're not feeling anything weird going on about the shoulders, the wrists, the elbows, it's arguable that we could, but we could not go to failure on push-ups every day. Meaning, if let's say my utmost limit is 50, I'm not going to go for like 50 push-ups every day. Maybe we do the room rule when it comes to push-ups and getting better at them, where every time I walk into a room, I do a certain number of push-ups. But here's the thing. I'm not going for utter and complete failure on getting better at my push-ups. Okay, so if you think about it, it's maybe that's 5 and I can constantly knock out a fast 5. Maybe that's 3, maybe it's 10, whatever that may be, I'm not going for 1,000,000 reps, my max reps every single day. Okay, so let's get into the warm-up for Tuesday's workout. The first thing I'm gonna do is gonna be a ground to overhead. I have a 20-pound bag of rice. I use this rice for a rice bucket to be able to work some wrist stuff. So if I have like sketchy, clicky, hurty, painful, I can't think of any other synonyms for how your wrists may feel, this is one of the things that I would do is put it in a bucket, and we'll mess with that in one of our later videos. But with right here, all I'm gonna do is take the rice and I'm gonna simply take it up overhead. I probably wouldn't drop it because I feel like I'd be cleaning up rice for a really long time. But rice, ground to overhead. Okay, my next piece, I'm gonna lay on the ground, on my back. I'm gonna bridge up, and then I'm gonna walk my feet out incrementally, keeping my hips off of the ground. And then I'm gonna walk back with one big step, or I can go incrementally, and again, I keep the hips high, and then come back down. I'd go for 10 reps of my ground overhead, and I'd go for 10 reps of my walkout, unless the coach calls for more. And then the next component, maybe not such a rep scheme, maybe more of a feel. And we're gonna start to prep our wall climbs that are gonna come after that. I do need something that I can put my feet on. It doesn't have to be. So if I get it here, I can get into plank, and then I can start to walk up. Looks quite a bit like an inchworm. I can also start to walk around, going laterally, and that's fine too. But if I can put my feet up on a stool, a couch, a bench, a sturdy table, something like this, then I can start in plank, start to walk my hands up, start to walk to the side, start to come through. And this is why I did reps on our first two, but not necessarily the third one. I'd look for more of a time component and more of a feeling with a little bit of oscillation about that shoulder. So probably 30 seconds, and I'd probably go through that warm up at least 3 times. So yesterday, our strength was a lot of planks. So it was plank via tall or short, and then it was side planks. Today, we're gonna advance that up a little bit and go to a wall climb. Maybe I stick with the planks, or if I'm feeling good, I'm gonna go for some version of that. So I'm gonna show you the movement, 1 wall climb, okay? So on the first minute, I'm gonna do 3 wall climbs. I start with my feet close to the wall, plank position, then I start to kick my feet up. And then I walk back down. I would do 3 of those, then I would rest for the remainder. Now, on the alternating minute, on the next minute, I get down, back on my back, and I glute bridge. Squeeze the glutes really, really hard, keep the big toe down, and you go up and down for the remainder of the minute. Now, if that's painfully easy, because, I don't know, you got glutes for days, whatever, then you may want to pause at the top for 3 to 5 seconds. If we can't keep it for the entire minute, then keep the reps going. And always make note if one side is stronger than the other, because that means you may need to work that one side via single leg glute bridge more often. And then I would alternate between those two for 10 minutes. So 5 rounds of each, 3 wall climbs, max rep glute bridge. So for my conditioning component, I have 2 clapping push-ups, 100-meter run, 4 100-meter run, 6 clapping push-ups, 100-meter run. Let's look at what the clapping push-up is meant to look like, and then we'll talk about scales and so on and so forth. And you should have a 100-meter lunge marked out from yesterday. You use the same one. Either way, the 100 meters takes roughly 30 to 45 seconds depending on the athlete in total. Okay, so let's say here's my clapping push-up. I get into my regular push-up position, and just to mark that out, what that needs to look like, my shoulders are obviously over the wrists, but when I get down to the bottom, the elbows are over top of the wrists, not way out here to where I'm flapping, but back through here. That's my regular push-up position. Now, I would do that quickly, and then obviously slap hands. The thing you gotta watch out for is the wrist. Okay, so watch position, go here. And those are my clapping push-ups. So those will benefit somebody who has push-ups to make them a little bit more difficult. What'll happen, obviously, is they're gonna go downhill a lot faster. If I started out with pretty good clapping push-ups, just like if I started out with good push-ups, once they get hard, I don't stop doing them. I take a break, I don't go to failure, kind of like what we already talked about, and I keep working that rep until if it went completely away where I just couldn't do it anymore. But I don't just get rid of it when it becomes difficult. Okay, and again, I'll do my clapping push-up, and if I don't have that, I'll go to a push-up, so on and so forth, and your coach will give you even more recommendations from there. Push-ups, go up by 2, and you just run in between every set for 12 minutes. It's important that when I'm done with that, when I'm done with any push, that I follow those things up with a pull. It doesn't need to be in the same day, but it has to be very often. In fact, I probably want to be trying to pull more than I push. So what we're going to do is a version of the pull. It may not look like it, but it is. It's working through the shoulders. It's going to be Y's and T's. I don't even need weight. So if it's really easy, just pause. So it's going to look like this. Get into this position. Your coach may call some stuff out. My T position, I'm going to put my thumbs up. Now again, okay, so that's easy. I could do a ton of reps, or I can pause. And then my Y position, T, and then that will be my cool down, which think about it as the opposite of the push during the workout.